When the Prime Minister interrupted a woman at a town hall correcting her use of mankind with peoplekind, his mansplaining went viral. Around the world, the Prime Minister was mocked for his political correctness. Now, the Prime Minister eventually conceded that it was a dumb joke, but his principal secretary, Gerald Butts, tweeted that any and all who criticized his boss were Nazis. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister once said that any statement by Mr. Butts could be considered his own. And in this case?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I didn't hear a question in that statement.
The Honourable Member for Thornhill.
Yes. Does he think everyone...
Mr. Speaker, the Nazis killed 6 million Jews. People who laugh at the Prime Minister are not Nazis. Mr. Speaker, will the Prime Minister disassociate himself from his principal secretary's unacceptable language?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we, as all of us do, take very seriously the Holocaust and make sure we remind ourselves never again by telling the story of the Holocaust and not relating that to anything else that happened. We recognize that this is something of extreme difficulty and care that we must be taken, and I have always ensured that we are respectful in our discourse, particularly around that subject.
Clearly, people who make fun of the Prime Minister making up words that do not exist are not Nazis.
Hear, hear.
Will the Prime Minister condemn and apologize for the comments of his principal secretary? Hear, hear.
Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we take very seriously the importance of creating open opportunities for dialogue. That's why I was so pleased to get out there and do town halls across the country where I took a broad range of questions for Canadians in a very honest and open environment. That is something that I continue to believe in. We will have difficult conversations from time to time, and I will continue to do exactly that in the future.
The Honourable Member for Lakeland.
Mr. Speaker, quite obviously, the most powerful staff member to the most powerful politician in Canada should not be calling people Nazis. Will the Prime Minister condemn and apologize for the comments of his principal secretary?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, when it comes to civil discourse, when it comes to the kinds of back and forth that happens in this House, it's a real shame to see the Conservatives using lines straight out of Rebel magazine and Rebel webcast. The Rebel should not be writing commentary and questions for the members opposite. They should know to disassociate themselves from that kind of politics and those kinds of personal attacks.